Welcome to the live OHIO podcast. Wherever you are, welcome to our home. I'm Buckeye Boggs. I'm in Delaware, Ohio. Down there, I'll get this right eventually, Chris Wiles from Marion. Say hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
And over there, he's from Texas, Aaron Brown. What's happening, buddy?
What's up, everybody?
We are excited to be with you guys today. We got a great show planned for you all. And by all means, we want you to know that you can actually participate in this as well. Post your comments live. We will try to share as many as we can as we go through this show. If you're watching us live, we appreciate you coming in, dropping in with us. Do one thing for us here as we get started. And we're going to say this several times. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, number one. YouTube, subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, like it, and hit that bell so you guys can get notified when we go live and when we have new content. Right off the bat, Ryan Wickerham, our buddy Chris that we got the tailgate with, he's with us tonight. He's live. Corey Johnson, who runs our Twitter page, Corey's with us tonight. How's it going tonight, Corey? So glad to have you with us tonight as well. So again, we're going to ask for participation tonight from all of you. So when you feel like you have a comment that's worth sharing, by all means, type that in, and we might be able to share that with you guys tonight. So guys, let's jump right in if you guys are ready. Let's go with it, all right? So the first topic we're going to cover tonight is, first off, how did you spend your weekend without Ohio State football, Aaron Brown?
Well, we went bowling Friday night, and Austin won somehow.
All right.
Yeah, I was the only one without bumpers, and somehow the kid still pulled it out. He beat Allie, beat Heather, and beat Allie's friend. So, I don't know. The dude never been bowling before. And then,
I figured you'd be really good at bowling, Aaron, since your head's so round.
How dare you, first of all. Secondly, I just kind of watched some NFL games, trying to keep up with that kind of stuff, and then, obviously schoolwork. So I've been trying to keep my time busy.
Chris, how'd you spend your first weekend without Buckeye football in a while?
Oh, I was at the store a little bit, played a little poker, dabbled around on DraftKings just a little bit. Like Aaron, watched a little bit of NFL football today, and nauseated by that, of course. And other than that, just kind of hung around the house a little bit.
Beautiful, beautiful. Larry Daniels is in with us. Larry, good to have you with us, buddy. Good to see you tonight. So let's start the conversation here. We put out a Facebook poll the other day. Did the 2022 Ohio State Buckeyes meet your expectations? Aaron, I'll start with you first. Did the Buckeyes meet your expectations this season?
Yes and no. It's kind of a complex thing because, obviously we wanted a national title. We wanted to beat that team up north. We wanted the Big Ten title. So on that end of things, no, they did not meet my expectations at all, obviously. They were 0 for 3 on those things. We didn't beat that team up north, didn't win the conference title, didn't win the national title. We didn't even win the bowl game, obviously. But other than that, offensively, we wanted to see C.J. Stroud play to his potential. And I feel like in the Peach Bowl, we really got to see that finally. Running, throwing, comfortability in the pocket, stepping up into the pocket. Just everything that we've been wanting to see him do, we finally got to see him do. Unfortunately, Travion and Mayan weren't as much of the plan as what we thought. Defensively, I felt like throughout the whole season, we improved greatly. So, I guess on the nuances of the game, I was pleased with this season. But as far as overall goals and expectations, no, they did not.
Chris, did the 2022 Ohio State Buckeyes meet your expectations this year?
No, Aaron's going to be much nicer about it than I am. No, I'm just going to flat out say no. As Aaron said, we expected a national title. We expected a conference title. We expected to beat that team up north. And we expected a Heisman Trophy winner, and we didn't get any of it. I really feel like we just saw the fourth year in a row where we wasted perhaps the best quarterback talent in the country. Now, granted, there were injuries. As Aaron pointed out, there were definitely injuries that impacted the game. And even in the Peach Bowl, we said there were some injuries and some questionable officiating and a few questionable calls. But, overall, I thought I think Ryan Day, first of all, tried too much this season to please all of his critics and become a power running football team. And we got away from what was our strength, which was C.J. Stroud in that wide receiver room. I think that to me was a great disappointment. I think that affected a lot of the games. I understand you have to have balance in the game, but having balance in the game doesn't mean you have equal yards. Having balance in the game doesn't mean you have the same number of carries as you do pass attempts. It just means that you can run and you can pass. And I think that he became so obsessed with pleasing all the critics, ourselves included, with trying to become a power running team, that his offense got lost a little bit during the season. And I think that definitely had an impact throughout the season. It had an impact versus that team up north. And as Aaron pointed out, we saw it come back a little bit in that Peach Bowl game. Although in crunch time, I thought we started getting a little conservative again. So, yeah, I was definitely disappointed by the outcome of the season.
Aaron, did we win the Big Ten?
Nope.
Chris, did we beat that team up north?
We did not.
Aaron, did we have a Heisman Trophy winner?
Nope.
Chris, did we win a national championship?
We definitely did not.
Aaron, did we win a bowl game this year?
Nope.
We went 0 for 5.
Yep.
That is not meeting expectations.
At
I
all.
don't care how good this team is. And they were very, very good. When you set out for your team goals to be win the Big Ten, beat that team up north, win the Big Ten, compete for a national championship, and you don't do the first two, and you don't come through on the third one, that's not meeting expectations. So this team did not meet my expectations this year. Let's see if we can't get a comment here. This one's from Ryan Wickerhammer, buddy. He says, "What up, guys? Hope to see you guys at my tailgate next season. Go Bucks." Chris, what do you think? Should we go to Ryan's tailgate next year?
Oh, at least once. At least. I think that should be, you got to visit that one a couple times a year. Aaron, I'll tell you, you got to come up. When you get back to Ohio, you have got to go to this tailgate because, man, this guy and the group that he parties with has it going on.
Do they?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
I can't wait to actually get to do that with you guys this year, man. I've obviously been MIA since I'm down here in Texas, so I can't wait to do the social aspect of all this with you guys.
Oh, it's a blast.
It's the best part of
really
this, in
Oh,
all
yeah.
honesty. It really is. So let's pull up Larry's comment here. Larry says, "This is a sensitive subject alert. How do you feel about a player who holds back some of his talents all year and finally uses them in the final game?"
Whoever could he be speaking of?
Ouch! Okay,
They're
no,
getting all worked up.
let me answer his question with a question for you guys. Was CJ holding back, or was Ryan Day holding CJ back?
Yes and yes.
How can Ryan Day be holding him back? He's not on the field holding his hand or his pocket.
Because he's telling him, "Don't run. I don't want you to get hurt."
Come on, man.
I think there's some legs to that. I really do.
I really do as well.
Do you think maybe it's a miscommunication? Maybe Ryan Day said, "Be careful about running." And CJ maybe took that as, "Don't run." I don't know. I understand where you're coming from.
No, because if that indeed was the conversation that took place, don't you think CJ would have ran before he got to the final game of the year?
Yeah. And let's remember, too, CJ himself has said he's not a running quarterback. I think it's a yes and yes thing. I think that CJ was holding back, and yes, I do think Day was holding him back. I think CJ was holding back. He's came out and told us, "Hey, I'm not a running quarterback. It's not what I do. I'm going to throw the ball." And as far as Day goes, I think there was absolutely some credence to what you said there, Eric. I think that Day was scared to lose Stroud, and very well he should have been scared to lose Stroud. But you know as well as I do, Aaron, and you can speak on this, having played the game and coached the game. You can't play from a point of fear.
No,
you can't play with fear.
100%.
When you're afraid of getting hurt, you're going to get hurt.
That's when you get hurt. Yeah.
See, my thing is like, if Ryan Day's telling him that, what message does that send to the rest of the team? I don't care what happens to the rest of you guys, but CJ, you better not get hurt, man.
Well, I would say Ryan Day would probably be upfront and honest with the team that the quarterback, in his opinion, is the most important position on the field. Now, he's going to tell you that everybody's important, but we all know that football's become a quarterback-driven game.
Yeah.
Without a top signal caller, you're not going to compete. I don't care.
That's right.
I don't care if you're the Dallas freaking Cowboys. When you don't have, and that was on purpose. That was on purpose.
Not a bad one to go with. I mean, Cooper Rush looked better than Dak Prescott a lot this year.
Well, maybe that wasn't the best example. You're right. All right, let's take the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, there's one for you. If Joey Football's not under center, do you think the Bengals have any legitimate shot in the playoffs?
I don't even know who their backup is.
I can't even tell you who it is.
And God willing, you never have to, Eric.
So I'm just telling you straight up, I think Ryan Day understands that. I think Ryan Day did not want to see CJ get hurt. And so there was a, hey, don't run it type of mentality. Remember when he did run it against Northwestern and Ryan Day admitted, like, yeah, we were kind of holding that back?
Yeah.
Yeah. He looked uncomfortable running against Northwestern, though, too. That was the first game where he really started to run the ball. He looked uncomfortable doing it.
Okay.
He hadn't been asked to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, but so apparently your guys' outlook on 2023 with Kyle McCord probably not good. Because
I think that nobody'd heard of C.J. Stroud before. I mean, we'd heard of him, but C.J. Stroud hadn't thrown a pass going into last season. McCord's got more experience coming in than C.J. had when he started out.
So do you think he's told not to run as well?
Probably.
Or will be told? Yeah.
Well, I think he will be told because I don't think he's the athlete as far as running the ball, potential to run the ball that C.J. even was.
Well, Craig Krenzel wasn't an athlete either, but if we needed 7 yards, that dude was going to get them. You know what I mean?
Craig Krenzel wasn't an athlete, but he had, how do they put it, the testicular fortitude to get the job done in any situation.
A wheelbarrow, if you will.
The wheelbarrow.
Ryan Wickerham says, definitely going to miss CJ next year. Hope next season Jack Sawyer and JT can get more pressure on the quarterbacks. Amen to that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope that they can get more pressure on them. I am going to miss CJ, man. I said, I think we said that was it 2 shows ago? Maybe it was last Sunday. I feel like CJ, man, he ripped his heart open, ripped his chest open, and showed Buckeye Nation that his heart bleeds scarlet and gray. That was one heck of a performance, man. All right, let's do this. Let's go on to the next topic here. And by all means, guys, I want to, those of you who are watching, please comment. We'd love to get your comments on these topics here. Topic number 1, the worst moment in 2022 for the Buckeyes for you guys. Chris, I'll start with you. What was the worst moment? Because there was a couple to choose from.
There was. I mean, obviously, the game against that team up north, just the absolute demolishing that we got in that second half was rough. But I'll tell you, the thing that broke my heart the most, it had to be the stroke of midnight on New Year's Day when that kick just sailed and dropped to the left. I mean, I thought that Ryan Day and the Buckeyes had a real chance at redemption after dropping that game to the team up north. And I just saw when that ball hit the ground, you knew you'd seen the last of C.J. Stroud. And he hasn't made it official, but you knew you'd seen the last of C.J. Stroud. A lot of these great seniors that have been part of the team, even if they haven't been maybe great statistically, guys like Cameron Babb, Guys like I just
Xavier Johnson,
yeah, Johnson. Just these great
Matt Williams,
they're just great
Matthew,
kids and great Buckeyes, and you knew it was the end for them, and
Matthew
you just
Jones.
hated to see, especially CJ, go out that way because I really thought, he'd questioned what his legacy was going to be. I think we've all questioned what his legacy is going to be, and I thought he had a real shot at redemption and getting that national title. And again, I don't want to bring it down on Noah. I don't. I don't want to place it all on the kicker. There's a lot of decisions that were made in that game. It wasn't just the missed kick that cost them the game. But it hurt to do that. I think that's probably the thing that got to me the most.
Aaron.
Yeah, man. For me, it wasn't even the missed kick. It's losing to that team up north 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've all grown up. We've discussed it. We all grew up or lived through the Cooper years. So, it just feels like that's starting to come back. That this is all the hallmark of John Cooper. Undefeated up until the game, lose the game, go to a big bowl game, lose that too. And that's kind of how it's been the last 2-3 seasons. At least that's how it feels. We just can't seem to get past that, and that really bothers me. So for me, that was probably the biggest issue with the season.
All right, Larry Daniels says Peach Bowl lost. Somehow I felt we'd missed the field goal at that distance, and then of course that team up north lost. Those are some of his worst moments from 2022. So, interestingly enough, when we lost to Oregon a couple years ago, I knew we were going to lose that game. When we had the band major or whatever he is, the leader, come marching down the tunnel, trip and fall, I turned to Carl and I said to him, "That's a bad omen, dude. This is going to be a bad day." And when I got thrown up on by a person behind me at the Michigan game, I knew right then this is going to be a bad day. Twice I've had bad starts to games, and I knew it was going to be bad. Losing to the team up north, obviously, was the worst part of the season. Like always, my wife seems to agree with you, Aaron.
I bring up good points. I don't know what else to say.
Wait till she realizes that you agree with her too, or agreed with her too, Eric. That might change your mind.
It might change your mind. I agree with you, honey. Thank you. Good to have my wife on and watching tonight. Yeah, there we go. Is Heather watching, Aaron?
Probably not.
we need to get Austin on here. That's what we need to do. I think Austin would drive our ratings up there probably a little bit.
He's going to drive us insane too. It's all good.
How about Bobby? She checking you out tonight, Chris?
She may or may not be. She asked me when we were going to start recording, so it's very possible. But
all right,
I'm not real sure.
I've watched the numbers kind of go up and down a little bit here as we've gotten started. We want to thank all of you again for coming in and being a part of our first live show. Please do us the favor. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up. Obviously, we want those thumbs up. That helps our egos out. Plus, share this with everybody and hit the bell, okay? And then this is what we're going to be doing. Sunday nights, mark your calendars. 8 o'clock every Sunday night, we're going to try to be here live for all of you. We want there to be a great community of Buckeye fans just like us who are going to drop in at 8 o'clock, whether that be on YouTube or Facebook, every Sunday night, and take part of these shows with us. That's why this is going to be such a great thing for the OHL podcast, is to get that immediate feedback from all of you right away. Let's do this. Let's flip it over. We did the negative. Now let's do the positive. The best part of 2022. Aaron, you went last. I'll let you go first this time.
For me personally, the best part of 2022 was the way that they played in the Peach Bowl. Yeah, we fell short. Yeah, we allowed 42 points. However, I feel like C.J. Stroud really, really played up to his potential. Despite not having a running game, we still scored 41 points and had a chance to win that game in the last seconds. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen for us, but I was extremely proud of the way the team played in the Peach Bowl.
Chris, the best part of 2022 was?
For me, it was more a moment. I think the best moment of 2022 for me was seeing Cameron Babb actually get to take the field and get a touchdown. That was a huge thing. Another thing I would throw out there would be the emergence of Xavier Johnson. Those two guys, I think they'd put in their time. Babb with injury, Johnson on special teams and working his way up as a walk-on. And you know what? I thought that those two kids really got their chance to shine and got the moment they deserved.
I have two moments. One is the Cameron Babb touchdown. That was awesome. Good on you, Chris, for bringing that one up. That was a fantastic moment this season that I will not forget. The other one, how about the Marvin Harrison catch where his body contorted into shapes that is...
Which one?
Well, remember the one on the sideline?
Yeah,
where
I know which one you're talking about.
I don't
one
know
where there's
how
no way that his feet should have came down in bounds.
Well, you're right. How many times did that happen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was crazy. That was a great moment. Larry Daniels says, I think the team played incredibly well for as many key player injuries we had this year. That's a really good point, Larry.
It is.
We had a ton of injuries, especially in the running back room, man. Seemed like we were always injured at the running. We never knew which running back we were going to get. And then we got a linebacker turned running back at the end of the season. We had our true freshman, Dallin Hayden, taking snaps, who had a great second half against Maryland. And you had Xavier Johnson, like you just said, Chris, in the bowl game, in the CFB.
And he looked good on the carries he had.
Yeah. All right, let's take this quick question from Brian Leoburst. Brian, it's good to have you in with us, buddy. We'll go ahead and take this question. We kind of answered this a little bit last week, and it's not really on our topic, but it's Brian Leoburst, so how can we not, right?
Have to.
That's right. Brian Leoburst says, will Brian Hartline get promoted to offensive coordinator? Chris, you're shaking your head yes.
Absolutely. Like I said last week, I don't even think that this is a debatable topic. I think it was promised to him before the Cincinnati thing, the Cincinnati job offer. He's too good of a recruiter to risk losing. I think he's got too good of an offensive mind, and I think he's got his hands, he's got his fingers on the pulse of this team right now. And I think he's going to be not only the next coordinator, I think he's going to be a great coordinator.
Aaron?
I don't see any other way around it. I know we kind of went back and forth, but that was more for the sake of devil's advocate, I suppose, last week. But who else would they pull? It's like Chris said. He's got he understands the team. He has such rapport with all the players, not just the wide receivers. He's well respected in the program. Who else would do it at this point? Who else could they get?
And he's an Ohio State guy.
Exactly.
That's a big thing.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to things like the rivalry game.
Yes.
It is a big thing to have that kind of awareness, that kind of passion involved. And I think that's just going to benefit him as well.
Well, and he's also got the recent NFL experience behind him too,
right.
And it's not like he was a slouch. He wasn't bad. He wasn't a Hall of Famer, but he wasn't bad either. He was a role player. He was a contributor to the Dolphins when he played for them, and I'm not sure if he played anywhere else.
He played for the Browns as well.
Browns.
He was actually,
okay.
He was pretty good for both of them, and at the time, both of them were pretty bad teams.
Right. Yeah. So just stuff like that. He's pulse on the team, respected in the program, has a recent NFL, genealogy, if you will. He's well connected. You got to keep him, and I think the way that we do that is by putting him as the OC.
Okay, there's your answer, Brian. Thank you so much for submitting your question. Ryan Wickerham brings up a good one. Aaron, I'll let you answer this one. This is right up your alley. He says we're going to miss Quinn, I think it's Barham, assistant strength and conditioning coach. Aaron, how much does an assistant strength and conditioning coach? I would assume a lot, actually.
It's one of those things, without being in the building, it's hard to understand that relationship that he has. But it's really all about, Body by Mickey. It's his program. The assistants help him run it. But your assistants, it's kind of one of those things like you're only as good as your weakest link. So if your assistants don't fully understand the program and what you're trying to implement, that can be an issue. So yes, losing an assistant that understands what, Coach Mickey wanted to put through or put the players through and get accomplished through the strength and conditioning program, that may hurt. But then again, if you want to be positive, maybe somebody comes up behind him and understands it better, or maybe even they throw in a few extra things and they're like, yeah, that was great. That was a great addition. But most people, mainly because we're from Ohio, we tend to be negative. So, oh no, we lost a good assistant. What are we going to do?
Let's bring Schlegel back.
I would love that. He's a good dude, man. Like Anthony Schlegel, he invented some system. I forget what it was called.
Yeah, the workout machines and yeah.
Well, what it was this piece of equipment, okay?
Yeah.
And it helped the linemen and the wide receivers with blocking. And we installed it on our squat racks at Olentangy High School. And you just, you pushed in and up. And it taught you that rhythm, okay? Grabbing a hold and up, controlling your guy in front of you. And he was always around in the gym. So, I mean, I've seen him and talked to him a few times while I was coaching there. So, yeah, if Anthony Schlegel came back to Columbus, I would love that.
Let's go ahead and, by the way, I love that too. All gas, no brakes. Let's go. Let's answer one more from Brian here, okay? Are guys afraid to compete anymore? So many players in the transfer portal all over college football. Chris, I'll let you answer this one, buddy.
I don't know if there is, I think, some fear of the competition, but more so, let's call it what it is. It's the money driving the truck here, It's the fact that most of these guys have to be on the field to make the big NIL bucks. And I think that's exactly why we saw Quinn Ewers exit Columbus. I think that's why we've seen a lot of these guys who are quality backups or, have a good year starting in a smaller program, jumping to a bigger program. Most recently we have the kid at Wake Forest, who's a great quarterback, jump over to Notre Dame. That's about the money. That's all that's about. That is about making those big NIL dollars. I don't think it's necessarily a fear of competition because you can better believe, I mean, somebody like him, you're going to transfer into a program like Notre Dame, and I understand they were down a little bit at the quarterback position last year. But the fact is, it's still Notre Dame. They're going to have somebody come in there, and you're going to have to compete with somebody. Even Ewers jump into Texas, There was going to be some competition down there. I don't think it's a fear of just so much of competition as it is you're not wanting to wait your turn. If there's a upperclassman in front of you, you want to get on the field, you want to make that money, and you want to boost yourself up so that you can. I mean, let's call it what it is. We're the minor league now of the NFL at this point, as far as the NCAA goes. And you're wanting to get your field time in so you can get out in 3 years and go start making the really big bucks.
Aaron, your 2 cents?
Well, I agree with Chris. I was going to actually ask something kind of an offshoot question. With Arch Manning committed to Texas, does Quinn Ewers stick around or does he leave?
Depends if Arch Manning becomes a starter or not.
You think he has a chance?
No.
I don't know. I don't think so, but who knows?
Not as a true freshman. I mean, unless Quinn Ewers completely falls flat on his face, then yeah. And then
his last name is Manning, though.
Yeah, well, this is true. And then at that moment, does Quinn Ewers become the new tater tot?
I don't know, dude. Think about it. If Ewers had stayed, he's probably the starter here.
Yeah.
That's how fast this all took place, and he couldn't wait that long. One season.
Good point.
Well, 2 seasons.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we have our 2022 Buckeye Awards, everybody. So make sure that you hang around. This is going to be a lot of fun. participate as well.
The OHIO podcast is brought to you by Mastermind. Mastermind specializes in 360-degree, high-definition mobile video mapping, GIS integration, and traffic safety studies. Mastermind cares about traffic safety and keeping you safe on the roadway. Visit Mastermind at onlinemastermind.com.
Brian also put this nice little comment out here for everybody. We should do an award for the best fan of the OHIO podcast.
Oh, he's trying to get us in trouble now, Eric.
I mean, who else are we going to give it to other than Brian Lee Oberst and Eric Osbeck? I mean, those are two guys.
Lenny's going to come
Larry
after you.
Daniels.
Lenny's going to come after you.
Lenny, well,
Oh, yeah, Lenny.
Billy Bob.
Buddy, you
Billy
don't
Bob.
want those troubles with Billy Bob. I'm going to tell you that right now.
He's not going to throw you on the barbecue. You don't get him in there.
That's a fact. A few Bud Light just rights, and you're in trouble, Jack.
All right, guys, it's almost 9 o'clock. Again, please like and subscribe. Let's try to get 10. I was a little overzealous on my first video we made this week, guys. Let's get 10 likes on this video, and let's keep working for 100 subscribers by the end of January. You can help us do that by sharing this and letting all your other Buckeye family friends know that, hey, this podcast is out there and we want you all to be a part of the OHIO podcast with us. How about some rapid fire questions here at the end, guys?
Let's do it.
Send it.
All right. Brian Lee Oberst asks, will Cade be coming back next year? Yes or no?
I'll take it. I think he absolutely will.
Yes.
I don't think he wants to go out the way he went out, leaving that bowl game, for medical reasons. I think he thinks there's business still to be done. And, I think he can definitely improve his draft position by coming back for another year. So, yeah, I think he'll be back.
Same.
All right.
I think he comes back, doesn't want to end his career the way that happened.
All right, Aaron Eichenberg coming back? This is from Larry.
I'm 50-50 on it, but I'm leaning towards him leaving, to be honest. I think that I think he had a heck of a season. He showed what he could do in the Rose Bowl last season, and then he comes back this year and tears it up. I don't think he's got anything left to prove. I think Eichenberg goes.
A little insight, guys. Real quick, little insight. If Eichenberg comes back, Cade's coming back. And vice versa.
So you're saying if one leaves, the other leaves?
Yep. Little inside baseball for you guys there. If they're going to make their decision together, I would be shocked if one of them goes and the other one doesn't. All right, real quick here. I know we're running out of time. We're up against the wall here. Just the last few seconds here. If Harrison had one more year, Chris, he may be able to lock in an early draft pick. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know how much higher he's going to be able to get. I think at best he's probably a second-round pick. If he had another year of eligibility. Right now, I think he's probably a late third, early fourth round pick. He's got a lot of ability, no doubt about it. He's got the talent, he's got the tools. It just didn't translate as we had hoped for the first 3 years. We saw him improve quite a bit, and yeah, I think maybe one more year he would probably, increase his draft stock a little bit. But I think best case scenario, he'd end up a second round.
Ryan says, you guys are awesome. I really like following this podcast. Again, please send all the positive affirmation you guys want to our way. We love it.
If we just got Ryan's tailgate following us, we'd have about 500 listeners.
I know, right?
500 likes, rather.
Make it happen.
There we go, guys. Hey, thank you so much, guys. This was a great live first show this Sunday night. Come back next Sunday. We're going to have all kinds of cool content. We're going to have lots of topics. We're even going to have some former Buckeyes be guests. We'll have some media members as guests. We'll have other podcasters as guests. We might even have some of you as guests. It's going to be a wild ride this offseason. We're going to have lots of fun doing this live show. 8 p.m. Eastern every Sunday night right here on YouTube and Facebook, of course. Again, please like, subscribe, ring that bell. And until next time, guys, be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH and sing Carmen, Ohio with all your heart. Until next time, OH!
Ayo!
Ayo!
Go Buckeyes!